Do you also do most of your thinking and writing on a screen, typing everything out? That was me for years. Then I switched to something more analog, annotating things by hand on my e-ink tablets and pairing that with an index card system that turns out smart people have used for decades. And somewhere in there, I found this clarity in my writing. And I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. But first, let me back up. So before any of this, my whole system was just PDFs in my computer and Google Docs. So I read a PDF, highlight the good stuff, copy it, and paste it into a doc. And it was fine, but I'd usually feel lost somewhere in the middle of writing. I'm craving to have something I can hold in my hands to grapple with the material, especially if it's something not that straightforward. Now in the age of AI, research and writing have gotten so much faster and efficient, but also more hands-off. So at some point, I said something has to change. And I started reading and writing by hand instead on e-ink. And even though it's still digital, there's still something analog about it because you're still writing things down and using your hand and having this brain-body connection. So it's genuinely great. So yeah, but the thing was, why did I end up adding this one? Lately, I've been going deeper into a new research direction. So I'm still finding my footing in the literature. It was kind of overwhelming for me to sift through the amount of existing scholarship and find the specific framing that I like. For all the benefits that I've had with my e-ink tablets, there's still one problem that it just can't quite solve, and that is that it's still one surface. You can only look at one page at a time, and sometimes to actually see a problem, figure something out, and see the possible solutions, you need to move things around, like physically reorder them, spread them out, see what patterns show up, and that's where the index card system comes in. And if you're into this whole personal knowledge management thing, you've probably already heard of this, like Ryan Holiday talks about it a lot, and he got it from his ex-boss and author Robert Greene. And there's Niklas Luhmann, who basically built his entire academic career around a box of index cards. And the idea is so simple, where you write quotes or your own thoughts onto individual cards with a reference, and you catalog them, and then you pull them back out whenever you're working on that specific topic. So these cards are actually part of the MeePlus leather ring binder that was kindly sent to me by Laura, the owner of MeePlus, the co-owner with her husband. And I really like it because it makes the index card system work for me, which I'm gonna talk about more later. Let's talk a little bit first about the leather binder because I just think it's gorgeous. I got this in Margot Fog. It's black and it's in pocket size. It also has this very nice sanded edges in the spine. So it's gold spine with the gold cross rings, which apparently are the gold standard for ring binders. It's very high quality. And then they also gave this pocket insert. You also get the ring band that also doubles as a pen holder. They also sent me different inserts, but I specifically requested for the lined vertical inserts, which is in thick cardstock. So they have inserts that are thinner, but this one, as you can see, it's like an index card. It actually is almost as big as a 3x5 index card. So it's just, I think, a little bit shorter, but yeah, almost the same size. So this is the other insert that they have. I got the grid one as well. Let me just show you. And this is so much thinner. So obviously for the thing that I want to do, I would prefer something more robust like this one. So it works for the index card system, one, because they have actual refills for that, which I was quite surprised by. I mean, I also have the plotter. It's a Japanese brand, but I can't quite find inserts. It's hard to find them. I'm based in Europe, so it's very expensive to get them. And I don't think they have this insert specifically, which I want for the index cards. Also, as a ring binder, because they're index cards, I would want to move them around because that's how I want to use it, right? The thing with ring binders is that you can actually do that, unlike a bound notebook like this one, which I also use a lot, my traveler's notebook. So you have these inserts, but then they're still bound. So I can't really reorder them. With this one, if I need to write something, then I can just take them out, write something as such, and then put them back. When I'm ready to write, it, then I take them all out and do whatever I want with them. So before I do that, let's go to the reading first. So step 1 happens on the reMarkable Pro. For me, the size is just the closest thing to reading an actual printed article. So I do all of my first reading here, and for me, it's the most straightforward, simple user interface. I'm so used to dragging and dropping PDFs from my computer to the reMarkable desktop app. So this just works for me. So I just highlight freely, and then sometimes I would also add some notes, marginalia on the sides if I have specific questions about this excerpt. Not all of the articles that I read here will make it to whatever I'm preparing. So this is just like, okay, I'm sifting through them. So this is the first pass. And then the second pass is this, the Supernote. Everything that I feel like, okay, this article is something that I want to read further, or I want to be able to save so that I can find it later and catalog it, will go to my Supernote. I mean, if you have probably the Supernote Manta, the bigger one, you probably don't need a reMarkable Pro. But since I have the Supernote A6X, which is the size of a Nomad, like an A5 notebook, sometimes reading on it is difficult. I just find that this one is better and it has color. So I just go through all of my highlights again from the reMarkable Paper Pro and then highlight them again here. That digest will then be added to your digest list, and then you can add annotations here. You can change the category for the ones that you already have or make new ones. So yeah, and then you can just delete them as well if you don't need that anymore. Maybe that's repetitive for you, but actually for me, it's a good way to filter the knowledge that I've gotten from reading and try to also remember what I have read. Okay, so everything is then categorized and organized in the digest. And so I like this because this makes it easier to search for things. So both of these steps are more like serendipitous. Sometimes though, I want to be intentional because I have a specific goal, a specific output that I want to use the data or the knowledge for. For instance, I need to write it up or make a presentation. And that's where the index cards come in. So if I had to put it simply, these two is more for cold knowledge. So if I want to turn that into hot, immediately actionable knowledge, then I use these note cards or index cards. So I go back through everything, pick out the excerpts I want, and then I rewrite them again by hand onto cards into this ring binder. And I use 3 main inserts. So the first one I already talked about before, this vertical lined paper. I copy the quote verbatim, and then I write the authors at the bottom, and then on the upper right hand side is the topic. And sometimes I'll put sticky notes for my own ideas, like a pithy idea that would sort of encapsulate the quote. Then there's also this to-do list insert, this green and white insert, and I use this for reading materials that I haven't covered yet but I want to read. And then the colored block insert, which is also in this thick paper, is for references that I want to use when writing. So I know that there are other ways to save references, but for me, just having this quick reference to just know what I'll be using later on is particularly useful. So when I actually sit down to write, I pull the cards out and then I'll just spread them across my desk like this. So try to, make sense of them. Like, okay, this one should probably go after this. Probably this is for the introduction, and then this is for the methods, You can have different ways of seeing how they relate to each other. Obviously, this happens over a span of weeks. Sometimes it's not just a one-off thing, right? So I like having my note cards with me as well when I'm walking, doing my thinking walks, so that I could still think about them. And if maybe I'm at a cafe, then I could still think about what I'm writing and try to process the ideas there. So this is actually the system that got me through a conference presentation I gave last month, and I'm genuinely proud of how much thinking went into that. And AI makes everything faster, but the level of ownership is not quite there or not at par with something like this, where it's slower, but you highlight, you copy things by hand, you reread it, and you just have more touch points with the data. And I really do think that's where the actual original ideas come from, when you can interact with the material. I know that for a lot of academics, doing it this way is not really realistic. You have teaching, you have service work aside from research, and I see you, I really do, and I get it. But if you've got the time to slow down like this and do research and writing like this, it really is a gift and one of the more rewarding ways to actually build knowledge in this day and age, I think. So e-ink tablets for knowledge making, building, creation is still a huge part of my workflow, but having this index card system in this pocket-sized notebook format is actually very, very useful for this messy, in the middle of it kind of thinking. And I think using these both hybrid kind of workflow, combining digital and analog, works for me. All right, that's it from me. I've dropped links to everything I mentioned down in the description. And if you've got your own note card system or some other way that you capture and work through ideas, let me know in the comments. I'd really love to hear it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay paperful.